We are actually working back on the bodco here because the white truck is running. I guess we could show that later in the video, which we will. She sounds really good, zero smoking. That is engine job went good. Yeah. A lot more difficult than it needed to be because of the serial number stuff, but the job itself, you know, you just shit yourself on camera.
Shit happens, doesn't it?
All right. Anyways, we're finally putting this back together. So that's the piece of steel we got up from Canada. We have to cut it out into 2 sections that we need for both ends. So right now we brought both axles in. We did arrow it and put left and right on them because not that we accidentally put it, we flip it the other way or upside down. For some weird reason we would pull that off. We would have if we didn't label it, so we did that. Now we're putting this back on. The center one is good, so that'll be nice because we're gonna shove the pin back in. It'll keep everything centered basically. And then we just have to cut those and measure this. That way the gap is identical on both sides, and I can tack it all with the pin in there. That way it's 100% true. That way the pivot isn't like catching anywhere and has to extra wear the pin or something. And then we'll pull it all back apart and I can weld it solid. And then I'll also weld the cracks that we see, like right here and stuff like that. Those aren't bad, but we'll do that while we're at it.
Yeah, definitely can find with you. Probably need a sledgehammer, just beat it.
We're gonna give it a little bit of love.
Okay.
So we had to actually lift the center of this. That's why it was going so hard for us. The second I lifted it with a skid steer, it leveled it out and she was slipping together. So now he smashed the end of that bolt for no reason.
Yes, I fucked that.
He gave it a good old 1-2 punch. I'll level it with a grinder and call it a day. Marcus, you just broke it. Look at it. Look at the gap.
Well, we can cut that thing.
On this truck, we did a couple things on it. Christoph had to go through on the engine. Is the hood latched or no?
I don't know. I can check.
The caps, where are they?
I got it.
Christoph has them. The caps that go into the head for the injectors. So these right here, he changed all 6 of those because it was bad, the connection. So we were having an injector issue, but it wasn't the injector bad. It's these right here. He changed all 6 of these. This isn't an old one or new one still.
I bought 6, and then I bought the wiring harness, but the wiring harness came with them, and I didn't know that. So
nice. So he got the wiring harness too for the whole engine because
it was old.
it was just, this is still the wiring harness from our engine because we put it on. So when we switched the engine last year, we kept our wiring harness because it was actually better shaped than what came with the engine. But we were having, look at this crap.
Who's fucking calling me now?
He gets a lot of phone calls in a day. But anyways, Christoph did that yesterday. She fires good. No more injector problem. So there was never a bad injector on it. And we have to do all the brakes on this truck because Alex had no more brakes. They were bad. And then on the other side, I'll show you, a wheel seal was bad. But we got to change these Good? That's how he sneezes. It's like winding up like a tractor pull. We gotta.
I did that in high school already.
Yeah. He had to wind up his sneeze. So you can see these are really wore out too. I'll grab a light. I guess the camera don't do it justice, but they're really wore out. So then brakes aren't riding good. A lot of times those don't wear out, but it's been through a couple sets of brakes. So there's a mess here, but we'll get to that. Those are the oil covered brakes. We got these off. We got a new spindle. New hub. I mean, because this hub, the bearings welded themselves. Not the bearings. The rings welded themselves to the spindle. Yeah, the races. I mean, so they weren't coming out. Plus there was slop. Well, no, one had slop. The other one was welded into it, so we couldn't get it out. And then we took this one out. We had to heat it and beat it out. But we're gonna change these all out. She'll have good brakes. Because she drove Ferdy's truck at the end of the last year with a tanker. And she's like, geez, my brakes suck compared to that truck. Because that thing, they have all new brakes on it. But we're gonna get that together now. And then in a little bit in the video, we'll fire up that truck before we end today. Because it's already 7:30. But I'll put that on camera for you guys here. Well, it's the next day. Because we stopped on that, but keep working on that after. Right now we're doing some brake stuff on this, the one new hub. We discovered this morning that, you know how we said we were changing these out, they don't actually make this pin anymore. I don't know where's the one.
They do, but not for this style.
Yeah, they don't make this one anymore. So what we actually did is Valancourt, our local steel place, when he fixes them, he just machines it and makes a new one.
No, it was just a shaft.
Yeah.
No, he just cut it.
Oh, he had the right size?
Right, exact, perfect size.
Okay,
He just cut it.
I thought he had to machine
No,
it.
he didn't have to do anything. He just cut
Well,
it.
then he just cut the right shaft for us. Christoph did that this morning. So we got 4 of those. And then that's how we're going to change these out. It needs the hub. Or not the hub, the drum. And then that'll be good on that wheel. We got 3 more to do. Then I got to cut the steel for that and put that on. Look how strong he is. He lifted with the knees right there, I think.
No, the back now hurts.
I'm going to see if I catch him pinching his fingers.
Yes, I'm hoping not to.
It's a professional at work. We got this side, got the brake on. We changed out that pin. We're doing it without pulling the hubs off, which is making it difficult because we don't want to smash a stud because we don't have an extra stud here with the sledgehammer when we're beating them in. But we're heating it with the rosebud right here and getting moving with the sledgehammer and then using the air hammer to get it the rest of the way out because we don't want to round it, otherwise it won't slide out. But we're trying. Christoph's putting that drum on and getting that one done. The front one's already done. She's glowing on camera. Oh, she moved that time. All right. Now I just gotta grind that lip off and maybe reheat it again and then hit it with the air hammer. Okay, we got that there. I didn't heat it yet. She's moving, but I gotta finish heating that. Not long enough. Oh. There. This bolt has been sacrificed as a very large punch. There we go. We'll clean out that hole with some sandpaper once it cools down, clean both sides with a wire brush, and we'll slap in the new one. Well, I took some sandpaper, I sanded the inside, wire wheeled the outsides, and then I rounded the ends of this new block. We're gonna tap it in with a hammer.
She's hot.
Yeah, it's still warm. We're gonna tap it in to get it started. Once it's started, I'm gonna heat up that again. It'll probably take 3-4 attempts, like on the other side. Part of the process is dropping it. Increase your anger. Get really mad at it, and then normally, wait, I gotta get a pipe. I gotta hold it over, otherwise it wedged. I don't need the pipe this time. It started. Last time I had to put a pipe there and hold it from turning.
How is it lined up? I'm good. Okay, it's the bitch. We'll blow it in. Be done. Okay, come on.
Camera wasn't turning on. Oh, that is good.
Perfect. Clean it up and call
But you could see from the swinging, you gotta be, it's a two-person job to get these in because otherwise you're smashing nuts. The first one where the hub wasn't on there,
that was beauty.
oh, you just swing on it with a hammer direct. It was good. I took the grinder, smoothed out that little hump it gave when we were hitting on it from the corner. So now that's good. I don't remember if I explained it earlier on why we're doing it like this, but they changed style over. They don't make these pins anymore for this style spider. To be continued. So they don't make these style spiders anymore that have this pin, so you can't get that pin, but you can still get the brake pads. So that they still sell those for this style. So if your pin ain't bad like how it normally is, you just put new brakes on it. It's good how we've been doing it for years, but can't always get away with that. So we changed the pin out by just using our own steel and not from the brakes. But another way to do it would be to change out the whole spider and put it to the new style. And this is the spider, this piece here. So you gotta pull your S cam, you gotta get all these bolts off, you gotta pull out your ABS wiring and more shit to break because you can see everything's rusty in here. It's old. There's the chance of everything just coming apart easily there? No. Also, you gotta pull off all the hubs because it all's gonna slide off. So it's just a lot of work. This is a lot less work. That's why we're doing it like this. Unless the spider is snapped or they don't sell the brake pads anymore, that's the only way we're gonna change them. So that's my little explanation of this.
You know, Christoph here, he's cleaning the rim a little bit.
Give it a good rim job.
You look at the technique, he got this from Andreas.
You better just go.
That's why he's so good at it. So the wheels are going on. We did use some Mother Shine, which surprisingly just fell over upside down, so that's great. And we hand wiped the rims a little bit, get them a little shiny. So now Christoph can see his face in the rim, in the rim, and feel special, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. He is going to use the big gun after to tighten them, not just a ½ inch. That's just for convenience of throwing them on. I think yesterday I did show the pipe that we got, but I measured it out, got everything centered, and now Ferdy is actually taking that pipe to Valancourt's to get cut with their bandsaw. That way it's actually cut perfectly straight because our chop saw, well,
We only have so much steel, so we can't really fuck it up.
yeah, like it took a while to get that steel, and our chop saw probably wouldn't cut it perfectly straight because it would kind of, the blade would weave, and it would probably half blow up by the time it gets through that 3/8 steel. So he's just gonna do it with his bandsaw for us and save us a lot of inconvenience. Okay, so Ferdy's back with, he's got 3, but we only need 2 of them. What's the third one? Which one's the off size?
I don't know. I mean, it was a foot long. We cut them into 4-inch sections, so they're all the same.
Come on, man. You can't say that. That's not how math works. Oh, my camera was floppy on me. Don't. You don't want that.
We can measure them, I guess.
Could be 4 inches.
That one's 4 inches. We're gonna use those two because this one looked a little longer.
This is a little bit more. So.
Okay.
4 plus 4 is 12.
Yeah, but one of them was a little longer.
Okay.
That's why Furry said they should all be 4 inches. But one of them actually was a little longer. So it must have been a little bit more than 12 inches. So we're gonna pick that up. I have the shaft exactly centered. Chris, maybe just you and me. Okay. I have it exactly that way. When I weld this to here and we put the plate on, it's gonna squeeze onto both exactly, and it'll actually make so this doesn't pivot on the shaft anymore. Do that on both sides. That's the plan. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I really actually don't care that much because it wasn't like that before. But we'll put that on both sides. There's a little bit of gap in the center, so it'll shimmy itself to make sure it still works good. And that's how it's gonna go. So we're slapping that together. I'm gonna tack weld everything. Then we're gonna pull it out. We'll lift it up in the air. We'll lift it up in the air with the bobcat that's sitting outside, and then I can weld it good. So we tacked it all.
Not good.
Wow, yeah, you can see, not good enough because the damn pipe's sitting here instead of there.
That pipe is too small.
Wow, Mr. Genius.
I don't know if it's too small. I don't think it was straight. Probably caught.
We're gonna find out if the pipe's too small because maybe it was too wore on the ends and here it's thicker. But yeah, when we had to really yank on it to get this pipe to come out.
You can tell where the.
No, that's a grease fitting line. There's 4. Everywhere there was a grease fittings, they made a ring around. That's why the insides have grooves like that. Like that. That's just for grease to go around. But we're struggling because that damn thing came off with it. So you need the light. So what we did, or what I did, you can see inside.
Can't really tell.
Well, I guess you can't. But what I took is that grinder. I took the guard off and I shoved that sucker right in here. Did a lot of wrist action like this. My hand's pretty sore now, you know. Okay. But we did that, and I think it took like 3 attempts, but we grinded it, and now this right here is where it stopped, and now, I mean, that is about as tight as you want it. You get any tighter, you're gonna be beating it in.
Well, we'll put it back together.
There's even lube on there, and she's still going hard, so it's about as good as you're gonna get. That's custom fabbing. So we slapped this back together so we can re-tack that on, because if it's not completely true, that shaft will not go together as you saw, because I made that thing bare minimum tight, like grinding out, because the outside's a little thinner.
I'm nervous anyways. We had a hard time putting it together without this pushing on there.
Yeah. Maybe I have to weld it a little better this time. But yeah, this is gonna be a great time to
Well, I guess we'll see how it comes apart anyways.
if it comes apart, I'm not worried about it going back together, that's for sure. But we want to put it together. Otherwise, if I just slapped it on the tacks and I'm a little bit off, it ain't going together. So we're doing it the right way, which sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna go upside down.
Now you can lift it up.
Yeah, you'll leave it on it.
Oh yeah. Unless we put it on jack stands. Yep. Otherwise we gotta leave the skid steer running.
We got those over there though.
But yeah, we'll lift it up to here, set it on jack stands, and then you can weld all the way around on both sides and it should be good. That is our best jack stand we own. A little crushed.
You know it held as much as
We maxed out the weight. I think actually a machine rolled and that's why it got crushed. We got 2 of them. They both got crushed on the same job. Okay. Well, we got this all together. I'm gonna weld it now. I was supposed to be welding 2 hours ago with how the project was looking to go. Till we actually started on it, it went completely south. And that's about how every project ends up going. You have a plan, you throw the plan away, you create a new plan, that doesn't work, So you makeshift it, you figure it out, and you get it working. But it's tacked. I'm gonna weld it now. Probably weld a little bit on this side, that way it doesn't flex like this. If I just ring it on one side, it could pivot it a little bit or something. So we'll tack it on the other side on both and be good. And then it's not on the skid steer anymore, just so we wouldn't have to leave it running so it doesn't blow a computer in it. And then I have to weld on there a little bit, but I'm not worried about that yet. Got this welded started, so that's basically the first pass on the inside, and then I did 2 passes here on the outside, and that'll be good enough. Could it be welded a little better? Probably, but should hold. It's a shit tank. I am going to do a second pass on this side, and then I got to do, oh, that's angled wrong. I got to do all the welding on that one still, but I think it'll be just fine. Well, this is all welded here. Freddie just grinded whatever was cracked on this side.
Halfway down this side. That side there.
So we're gonna do that next. This is all done. I did 2 passes on this also. This light's almost too bright. That's what it looks like. I think that's how they welded it before, with 2 passes. That's what the other, when I cut it, and that one looks like. So I think it'll hold.
It takes too old for it to break again.
That's true. That tank is old, but you know what? It's still hauling shit. So this part's good. We just gotta let it cool. Maybe we'll slap some paint on it while it's still looking like this.
I did get some cat paint too. I don't know why you guys needed that.
For the head.
Oh, you're gonna paint the head?
Yeah, that way it doesn't look ugly. It looks like, you know, it's still from the factory.
Yeah, pretty good.
We got that welded down there, and Ferdy is painting this. It's a little smoky in here, or dusty. We're gonna open the doors up, but let that dry, and then technically speaking, we should be able to set it on here and slap that pipe back in there. Now, there's a good chance we gotta whack it back in, because we did have to yank it out with the skid steer, but honestly, it'll go together. I'm not too worried. It looks like we're done for today, because it's almost 8 o'clock. We're gonna start the truck for you, so don't worry. We'll end the video with that. Batteries on? Okay. Well, put those on real quick and we'll start it. Christos put a new backup alarm on it.
Yeah.
Hey! Marcus is leaving my dad up here. He's putting the new box on, the new backup beeper, and the light. Can't forget that. And that's good, but we'll slap those batteries on real quick. She sounds good. Ferdy's gonna try it. Ready? Yeah. That's the AC belt. It's a little loose. It's not on, it's just slipping because it's loose. Or that's the alternator. I think it's the same belt though. You let her have some throttle. I think the AC belt and the alternator are the same belt. Yep. She's a little loose. Or unless it was this one. Nope, it was definitely that one. So we gotta tighten that up. It is a hell of a freaking mess up here. You pull a damn truck in and it's like a freaking carpet bomb goes through. It's so annoying, but that's how it goes. So other than the belt squeaking, the engine sounds great. 0 smoking now. How it should be.
Just gotta work the engine.
Yeah,
but not beat it.
Yep, and don't idle it for a little while. Yeah. But the Jakes hit really hard. We didn't do that just now, but when we were testing everything, so she's good. So thanks for watching. Till the next one, you'll see that going together. We're working on that tomorrow.